Hi everybody and welcome. I'm Coach Carolin, a Leadbetter certified instructor and also a former professional tour player. And today we're going to talk about how we can keep the ball lower to make sure you keep control when it's windy and when the conditions aren't as amazing with your irons as well as with your driver. And that's going to result in a much more consistent score. So I'm going to give you a couple of tools, tell you how I used to do it so we can make sure that we optimize those scores and we shoot low even when it's windy. So there's a couple of things that I'd like to suggest and that I used to do strategically when I wanted to hit the ball a little bit lower. All right, so the first tip is very simple and easy to do by anybody, no matter your skill level, and that is just take the next club up. Take the next longer club. That's already going to lower your ball flight, right? Because you have a club, the loft on the club right here on the 8-iron. If you take a 7-iron, it's going to be less loft. So that's already going to bring your flight down. And if you have wind, you most likely need to take a club more anyway, because you make sure you want to swing easy. You don't want to muscle it on the green or on the fairway. So make sure you club up. Very simple. That's going to lower your actual flight and it's going to lower your spin a little bit and already help you a ton. Number 2 is some setup thoughts and grip thoughts. So you can actually grip down a little bit on your club. That's going to take off another 5 yards. The further down you grip, if it's just like half an inch, it'll probably take off 5 yards off your carry. If you grip it down another half an inch, it's going to take 10 yards off your carry, and so on and so forth. The same thing applies to your stance, the width of your stance. So if you want to narrow your stance by half an inch, that's 5 yards gone off your carry. If you want to narrow it by another half an inch, that's 10 yards gone. And that's a little bit of a feel game, right? And depends on what the wind is doing. But choking down on your club and narrowing your stance are two very simple tips to make sure that you gain more control and you can actually lower your spin and control your shots a little bit better. So you can combine these tips too to actually say, I'm going to take my 7-iron instead of my 8-iron or my 6-iron instead of my 7-iron. And then you choke it down a little bit on the grip and you narrow your stance a little bit and you hit a really easy shot. What it does is it brings your flight down, it makes the ball less susceptible to wind and to making sure that your ball doesn't come off the fairway. And that's really going to help you making sure to keep control of your ball flight. It's going to make it come down a little bit, it's going to make it more controllable, and it's going to make you be more consistent in the wind. So combining these things like choking down in your grip, making sure you narrow your stance, and taking another club up from the one you would have actually taken are all going to help you keep that ball flight lower, keep that trajectory down, reduce the spin, and just give the wind less of a, area and less ammunition to attack your ball because it's just not that high up in the gusty winds. So combining these three, however you'd like, make sure you go on the range and you try them and see how you feel, which one you like best, which is the best combination for you, for which club. But again, making sure you take the next club longer, making sure you grip down, and making sure you actually narrow your stance are three great tools to have in your bag to make sure you can control that ball in the wind.